Hello, everybody. I'm very happy to have you here in my IT Corner podcast. Today, I have very exciting news for you because we are going to perform a podcast with Dave Mariani from Atscale, and we are going to talk about Databricks and Snowflake data platforms. What's happening in US, there are two kind of events. One is for Databricks and one is for Snowflake. And that's the reason why we have Dave in our podcast, just to share a couple of thoughts, what's happened, what is the new feature. So if you like it, please leave your comment below and let me know what you think about getting through other episodes related to data or any kind of data platforms. I will leave you now with the podcast. Hi, Dave. How are you today?
Hey, Krasi, good to see you again. How are you doing?
I'm very happy that you accept this online session because I know that you're super busy. It's really, how to say, important for our podcast here to have you as a person who can share something as a really insight.
Yeah, so last week was a big week, Krasi. So, we're Atscale is a semantic layer vendor. So we sell semantic layers to enterprise companies across the world. Our data platform partners like Snowflake and Databricks and Google BigQuery are very important to us because those are the platforms that our software runs on. So last week, there was two summits. Snowflake had their annual summit that was in Las Vegas, and then Databricks had their summit in San Francisco, and they happened at exactly the same time, which really created a big issue for both customers and for vendors like our partners like ourselves. Because if you look at like the overlap between Databricks and Snowflake in accounts, there's a tremendous amount of overlap. And traditionally, Databricks has been used more on the AI side, and of course, Snowflake more on the data warehousing or BI side. But they're now converging, those two vendors. So Databricks is trying to enter the BI space, and Snowflake is making a concerted effort to enter the AI space. So they're on a collision course, and they really forced customers and partners last week to choose whether they were going to go to Las Vegas to see Snowflake or San Francisco to see Databricks.
Very interesting situation. I think, you cannot split yourself by two, but what I see, it's really interesting in the Snowflake, but you want to share more. Our members will be very happy to hear you.
So let me start with some of the things, my takeaways from, I went to the Databricks conference, so I had to choose one. Atscale was awarded the Partner of the Year at Databricks at the conference, so that's why I was there. So we got a Partner of the Year award. So
actually, which is great because we spent a lot of time on Databricks and a lot of new features are introduced.
So Krasi, when Krasi and I worked together, this is for the listeners out there, we actually worked on the port for Databricks SQL and doing all the TPC-DS benchmarks on it. So that was a very good investment, Krasi, because we have a ton of customers that are deploying on Atscale on Databricks SQL right now. So it was a good investment that's really paid off for our customers and for our partner Databricks.
Very happy to hear that because I really like it. I really like the way how it works.
Yeah, so some of the big things, everything was about generative AI, as you can imagine, right? So both conferences were talking about generative AI and talking about how they were working generative AI into their products. On the Databricks side, the biggest sort of piece that my big takeaway for our space, which is more business intelligence, is they announced Lakehouse IQ. And Lakehouse IQ is basically natural language query on Databricks. So you can ask questions of your data, and it's going to construct and run queries for you on using Databricks SQL. And so I thought that was really interesting. When asked at the conference, I attended several mini conferences. I attended the partner conference, I attended the exec forum conference, and then the general conference. And in all cases, Ali Ghodsi, who's the CEO of Databricks, when asked what he was most excited about their announcements, it was Lakehouse IQ. So that's just something to keep aware of, because I think that's something that they're definitely investing in. Um, so their vision on Lakehouse IQ is that each customer is going to have a training model. So they're going to train a model on the customer's data behind the scenes automatically for everyone. And they're going to be able to not just look at the schemas, but ingest other types of documents to be able to provide a context. So you could say, for example, in their example, how many DBUs did we generate in the EMEA in the last quarter? And that question seems like it's an easy question, but what is a DBU? Well, DBU is an internal way of tracking revenue for inside of Databricks. What is EMEA? Well, EMEA is different sort of regions in different countries depending on your organization. And what is last quarter? In the case of last quarter with Databricks, they don't have a fiscal year. They begin their year in February and end with February. So at last quarter is a different set of months. So you can see that even a simple query like that can get pretty complicated right off the bat. And I think that a semantic layer adds that business context on top of that data. It creates that map between business terms and technical terms. And so I'm very excited to partner with Databricks on Lakehouse IQ to make sure that the semantic layer, the Atscale semantic layer, is part of that training model, because that's how you're actually going to get to a useful product.
Yeah, right. I think this will gonna end up with something really excited, and especially from the performance perspective, so sure.
Yeah, so there's a lot of other companies out there like ThoughtSpot, for example, who's been doing natural language query for a while. A lot of the BI vendors have added natural language query in their products, like Tableau has, so has Click, I believe. So they're all doing that. So this is Databricks really putting a stake in the ground and saying that it should be happening on the data platform as opposed to the front end, which I thought was pretty interesting. Um, so that was Lakehouse IQ. The other thing that was interesting, Krazy, that you're going to be interested in is they announced Federation. So Federation will be done in the Databricks platform, and they're going to support Yes itself. So you can basically define an external table that will point to another data warehouse, including Snowflake, by the way. So you can federate Snowflake queries inside of Databricks, as well as BigQuery, as well as Redshift, as well as Postgres, and MySQL, I think. And of course, the big ones are Oracle and Teradata. So those are the ones that I think a lot of people would be waiting for. But they're using Spark as the federation engine. And so, vendors like ourselves don't have to support federation in our products. We can just go ahead and rely on Databricks for federation. It works all through Unity Catalog, so it's all integrated with their cataloging service. They're really pressing Unity Catalog big time. Just big time. So they could not stop talking about Unity Catalog, at the Databricks conference. And this was all the founders, all the sessions, all sort of had a special mention to Unity Catalog. So that's something that if you're a Databricks customer out there who hasn't got onto Unity Catalog, you should really consider it, because there's a lot of effort going on in the Databricks side to tie a lot of things to Unity Catalog. So you should be on it if you want to get all those great new features. The last thing that was, I think I've mentioned, not the last thing, there's a lot of other stuff, but the other thing I thought was of interest was they announced Marketplace. So it was just last year that Databricks announced Delta sharing, their ability to share data across different Databricks customers. Well, they didn't have a marketplace, meaning a marketplace where you could actually get third-party data and subscribe to it. Well, they announced that at the show. So in two summits, the last summit was Delta sharing. That was the fundamental basis for sharing data. And then this summit was the actual marketplace itself. They caught up with Snowflake in basically two summits. So in 2 years, they went from having nothing because Snowflake was first in the marketplace and data sharing, and they had that for quite some time. So Databricks basically closed that gap. So there's a lot of Me Too out there when it comes to Databricks and Snowflake trying to like whatever somebody else has, they have to have it next. So there's a lot of Me Too out there, and this was one of the catch ups for Databricks was the marketplace and Delta sharing.
Yeah, uh, all this sounds to me like, as far as I remember, um, in the previous year, Databricks really changed a lot of new stuff, like Unity Catalog, what we play around with it, and I think Snowflake is getting a little bit away from this in the last year, and now what's happened is actually other way around. I mean, based on the announcement of the what they are going to introduce, um, it's quite how to say a big change for them as well.
Yeah, what was interesting, Krazy, was that on the at the Databricks Summit, all of the presenters were the Databricks founders. It's a very product oriented, very technical team, management team, and the founders and are all in management positions, and they were the ones who were making the announcements and doing the demos themselves. So it's a definitely a very much a product focused technical team. Ali Godsi is a product guy. And the contrast is at Snowflake, it's a business guy who's running the company there, and so there's a big difference in culture there, I think, when it comes to how those companies are put together.
Yeah, right.
So let's like talk a little bit. Oh, there's one other thing. It was called Databricks also announced Uniform. So Databricks Uniform is their attempt again. This is more of a catch up with Snowflake, I think. But there's different versions of Parquet out there, and Parquet is all the basis, but there's different metadata around Parquet, including Iceberg. Delta is another format, and there's one more, there's a third format that's escaping me right now. But in any case, they announced uniform, so you can on Databricks, regardless of whether you're using Iceberg or Delta or the third one that has some cute name. You're going to be able to. Databricks will manage all the metadata for you, so it's gonna work across all the different formats without you having to deal with the idiosyncrasies of those three formats.
Yeah, and this will gonna be converted automatically.
Yes. Yeah, and they're not actually converted. They still stay in place. But what they do is they basically are the way they do it is they create metadata underneath the surface, and so all of the Databricks services are going to be dealing with that common metadata format to be able to read from those different Parquet table formats.
Yeah, everybody knows how useful is Parquet in nowadays. So
Yeah, and the related announcement on the Snowflake side is they're calling it unified iceberg tables. So you can choose either because iceberg is the format that Snowflake stores their Snowflake tables in. So that's the Parquet format that they use. This is, you're able to define it either as external or unmanaged or use Snowflake tables. So this is sort of this is Snowflake's version of the data lakehouse. So, Krazi, it's like it was Databricks who announced the lakehouse concept. And then a lot of the other vendors, including Google and BigQuery, they have their own version called Big Lake. And now Snowflake is saying, hey, we have a lakehouse too. And so unmanaged iceberg tables is how they are defining the underpinnings of their lakehouse.
Yeah, right.
Let's see what else we got. We got from Snowflake. Snowflake has already had the sharing, so that's been around for a while. Emma, they put in some machine learning functions inside of Snowflake SQL. So this was something that was pioneered by Google BigQuery a while ago, where you actually can train models and create models inside of SQL. And so it looks like Snowflake has announced that. You have the app marketplace. So this is a big announcement. So Snowflake already had the data marketplace, and now they announced their app marketplace. So what that means is that third-party vendors are going to be able to run their services on the Snowflake cloud in a container. So, and by the way, Databricks also announced Lakehouse apps, which is their version of this. Now, Snowflake is further ahead in that they announced, I think, six to eight partners who are already in their app framework, in their app marketplace, and Databricks is a little bit behind there, but getting busy. So what you're seeing here, Krazi, I think, is that the data platform vendors, Databricks and Snowflake, are now trying to get into the generalized cloud game, where they're going to host, infrastructure and containers for other partners to run their services on. So they'll become the equivalent of the backbone, like Amazon is, or Azure is, or GCP is.
Yeah, actually, when I see which company are there, like Nvidia and some other, I'm still thinking that this integration will be really focused on the way how our days grow up this kind of AI and all this analytics and some other portion of it maybe will be used in this situation. We'll see. But it's looking very interesting because it start getting in the competition of other cloud platform.
Yep, and for a company like Atscale, that's appealing to us because since we know our customers' data is on Databricks and Snowflake and BigQuery, but we want to be able to have our apps and our application logic as closest to the data as possible. So if we can be hosted in their infrastructure, then it also takes care of a bunch of issues when it comes to security and access, right? Because and network, because the partner is going to do that for us. So it's very appealing to be able to run Atscale in a container on Snowflake or on Databricks. And so we're really looking forward to really participating there. And having that be a deployment option for Atscale.
And by the way, because everybody knows what's happening in the cloud when network is let's say not up to very close to you or is not up to speed, and everybody knows that if you deploy something in the clouds and your data is all there, even in the private network. I think by deploying Atscale in this fashion will be also a benefit. I think even customer, because they are not going to pay for the bandwidth as well, right? Or let's say we're going to be optimized for them, because this what also makes sense.
Completely. Yeah, completely. Yeah, so those are some of the Krasi, those are some of my takeaways. I think that there's definitely big competition between Snowflake and Databricks. I think BigQuery is on the outside looking in, but they have a lot of big customers who run big workloads on BigQuery, and so Google knows that BigQuery is their gem. It's their superstar in GCP, and so they're trying to really push BigQuery, and even into accounts that aren't GCP accounts, and using BigQuery as their lead. So data is king, and the data platforms are using data as a lead-in to other areas of business, to look to spread their wings beyond just being a database.
Yeah. And by the way, have you seen some presentation, for example, real cases like, customer deploying something or migrate to and use their service during some kind of, presentation from them, or any kind of use case, maybe? Maybe it will be easy to share if they share anything, of course, at that time, because I think maybe some of the things what they share it's still in preview, maybe.
Yeah, all these announcements for the most part are all in preview, and either it was really an announcement that they would be in public preview. A lot of them were in private preview. There's a whole lot of innovation. I guess if I had to put a theme on it, generative AI is definitely top of mind for everybody. Everybody in the audience as well, especially executives, want to know what we can do with generative AI. And in each, both Snowflake and Databricks are taking a very open view for generative AI. So they're going to offer their own generative AI models and training, but also be open to other Gen AI models that are out there that are open source or even proprietary. So both Snowflake and Databricks made a point of saying that they were going to be open when it came to incorporating generative AI models, whether it was their own or open source or even a competing partner.
Yeah, this sounds really interesting. I hope you will be able to share more from both of the conference. I know that your colleagues will bring something more from the other conference, because you may not be able to attend. But yeah, hope to get more on this, because our days world start getting crazy with all this AI, and I think most of the CEOs of the company start asking themselves what we're gonna do with this AI, how we can optimize our workload, how we can get more insights from our data. And everybody knows that who owns and can end up with more of the data will control, almost everything. So we know how important is the data, even from small customer to big customer, for doing analysis and they're managing their business. So I think this will be huge trend now. Even it's growing with so many integration, as far as I see, with ChatGPT and some other integration. So yeah, we're gonna talk more.
Amen. Yes. Keep your eyes open for this, and yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff for all of us in data and IT. A lot more fun coming our way. So it's a good time to be a data guy.
Yeah, we're gonna end up with more. Hope, Dave, when you're having something more to share, I will be very happy to have you in the podcast. I hope we'll be able to join. And do you want to share some thoughts?
Closing thoughts. Closing thoughts is just yeah, because is it keep keep your research up. There's a lot of stuff that's happening really fast. So my advice to your listeners is like don't fall asleep at the wheel here. There's so much change that's happening right now. and you got to be up on it, or you'll be left behind because it's an exciting world out there, but you don't want to be left behind. So stay sharp.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. We're gonna continue and with these topics and some others. So I really appreciate your time, everything what you share with our audience, and we'll be very happy to have you again.
Thanks, Grazi. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, and thanks for everything. Bye, guys. I wish you a nice day.